Hello, everyone, and welcome to week number 2. How was your week? Um, Last week, you developed your persona paragraph by dissecting that chosen job description. And then this week, we're going to take all of what you learned there, all that knowledge and skills to create your resume and your cover letter. Okay. So the required readings this week included my 3 pillars of resume writing series. And again, they are the resume strategy, the resume mechanics, and resume design. I've also added another video about applicant tracking software, or ATS, right? Which contains really, really important information to those of you who are forced to apply for a job through job boards like Indeed. Yeah. So ATS, let's talk about it because it's important that I give you a warning about them. I can actually show you statistics that prove that less than 15% of people actually get an interview when they apply through job boards using ATS systems. And if you think about it, 15% is not a heck of a lot, is it? Right? In fact, the most effective way to submit resumes and cover letters is when you actually can get them into the hands of a hiring manager. And yeah, I know what you're thinking. Um, how the heck do I do that, right? Well, one way is to email them. If you can find the name of the hiring manager, or better yet, the actual person that you'll be reporting to, then that's half the battle, right? You do whatever you can to find out who they are. And I'll talk about networking in a second, because that's usually the best way to do that. Make sure you just kind of mention that you did follow the submission rules that they outlined, but because you've had, resumes go missing in the past, that the opportunity is just much too important for you to take that kind of chance, right? Another thing that you could do too is to simply call them, which is probably the most effective way, or drop in and see them even, but sometimes it's just not possible to do that. So if you can figure out their name and get the email to them, that's also a great way to do it, like I said. And another way is by networking, okay? Networking, it means reaching out to your inner and outer circles to see if you can find someone who can deliver the resume to the hiring manager. It might be someone who actually works there already in the same department or a similar department. Like, for an example, when I worked with the airlines, anybody that would be wanting to work there were instructed to go to the website and upload their resumes to the company's recruiting tool. Which they had to do. But if I knew them, I would tell them to go ahead and do that, but also to give the resumes to me. And then in turn, I would hand it to my manager. All right. And because she and I had a relationship and she trusted me not to just, to give her good candidates, she always made sure that they got an interview that way. So that is that's really important. So if you can find somebody that get that into the hands of a person, then that is all the better. All right. Um, so your inner and outer circles, I was just talking about them. Who are they, right? They're like your friends, your family, your coworkers, your bosses, teammates, your cohort, people that you've connected with and made friends with on LinkedIn, that sort of thing. And next week, week number 3, I'm actually going to be talking about networking. And a lot of people find networking really scary. But honestly, it's not as bad as it seems, especially if you do things like ask for an informational interview. Okay. There's a PDF that's actually in next week's support materials folder that goes into details more about informational interviews. I think you'll probably find it really valuable. Um, just a thought too here. If you are currently in an application process, let's say you're at the interviewing stage, and of course, when we're not there yet, right? Just don't hesitate to jump ahead to find out all about it, or reach out to me for advice or even just moral support. We could even do a mock interview together if you like, okay? I don't mind doing that. Like I said before, your success is my goal, and nothing makes me happier than seeing my students succeed. So yeah, okay. Sorry, I just went off in another direction there. So this week, be sure to take advantage of the resources available to you. There are 2 resource folders. One is for resumes and the other one is for cover letters. In the resume folder, you're going to find that PDF that I showed you last week called Getting Smart. And I suggest that you download it and either print it out or attach it to pin it to your desktop somewhere that's right in front and center, because it's going to basically be your playbook going forward. And you're going to be hearing me talk a lot about, harp on, comment, give examples of smart statements for the rest of COMM490. And honestly, guys, I learn nothing more. Learn how to write those, okay? Trust me. Like I said, you'll hate me first, but then you'll love me. You'll thank me one day, okay? I've also included that sample that I showed you of a new graduate resume, and it contains a description key along the right-hand side to assist you in writing your resumes. I think you'll find that it's a terrific visual and has this great checklist. Now, yeah, one other thing. I've received some questions about the use of online resume templates. Like these are the things that you find in Canva, Word, and also ChatGPT, so AI. Again, I'm a ton of caution with these. First of all, let's talk about the pretty templates. While they're attractive, in other words, they meet the criteria, pillar number 3, right? Design. I'm going to just ask you to stay the heck away from them. And here's why. Number 1, they are highly recognizable. Many recruiters really dislike them. They see them as unimaginative and even lazy, okay? Number 2 is that most ATS programs have difficulty parsing them. And if the ATS program that is being used to vet applicants, if it can't read it, right? It can't find keywords or job titles, names and dates and stuff, it doesn't see it. And I mean, that means that your hard work will just kind of churn in their database until until the cows come home, right? The other thing about both these graphic design templates and things like AI is they're not set up to highlight your accomplishments. And trust me, employers want to see your accomplishments. They don't want a whole laundry list of what you've done. They don't want to know, these are my tasks, these are my responsibilities. They want to see statements that show what you've done well and the results that you've garnered. Okay. And again, the ability to articulate those will differentiate you from your competition, hands down, your competition, because it is a competition. Applying for jobs is always about who else is applying for it. All right. Yeah, another thing for the AI, I asked AI to write my resume for me, and it made up all kinds of stuff. You know, it said things like that I was good with finances and sales and stuff. And I can tell you that financing, anything to do with math, is not my strong suit. So I'm not really sure. I can only surmise that it picked up something in my LinkedIn profile about me owning my own company. And I don't know, suggested probably if I did that, I'd have to be good in that area. I really don't know, but totally unreliable. And it also didn't highlight my accomplishments. It didn't. It just had this big laundry list of things. And anyway, be really, really careful with using them. I don't even go there, especially in COMM490. Don't go there, okay? As for cover letters, be sure to read the article from Career Professionals of Canada in this week's required readings. CPA, or Career Professionals of Canada, by the way, is the professional association that I belong to. And that article that I'm referring to is targeted to resume writers like me, but it will help you because it highlights the most important elements that are required in a cover letter. All right. Um, and so here's a bit of a hack for you too, and should be considered in everything that you do, every step of the way. Instead of thinking of terms of what you want from a job, think about what they will get from hiring you. That's why this is the reason that I say don't ever include an objective statement, ever, ever, ever. It's passe, and they don't want to know what you want. They want to know what you bring. So, for an example, my job, my goal, my objective is to get a job where I can tell stories. Instead of saying that, say, my story, my passion for storytelling is going to help you increase engagement, right? And then go from there. So does that make sense? The other thing that's really crucial I want you to pay attention to is advice in point number 11 on the cover letter article, where you minimize the use of the word I, okay? And wherever possible, replace it with you or your, right? So using that example that I just mentioned before, saying something like, because your clients engage with content that they can relate to, your company will benefit from my excellent storytelling skills and passion, right? Can you see the difference? Yeah. Okay. Um, as as I also mentioned last week, I've made cover letters super easy for you by providing a no-fail, plug-and-play cover letter template and key for you to follow. That you can use throughout 490 afterwards if you like to, or at least until you get your own personalized cover letter that incorporates the same principles. All right. My clients and my former students tell me that they find it adaptable and easy to use. And the best part is that they find it super effective. All right. So critiques, super important. Please add them to the assignment Dropbox by Sunday, July 7. And when you do that, please be sure to include the chosen job posting, okay? And the persona statement so that I can critique the strategy portion of your resume. And for that critique, you can expect highly detailed feedback that focuses on the strategy, like I said, mechanics, whether you specifically understand the buying motivator for the role, like, why the job was created. I'm going to be looking for your astute use of keywords, and by that I don't only mean that you identified them, but of how and where you sprinkled them naturally into your documents, especially like in key areas like the top third of the resume and in the openings of your cover letters. I'm going to be looking to see how you've injected your value proposition, right, into your resumes and cover letters, and the way that you use good design and, of course, grammar. Always about grammar with me, isn't it? So grammar, flow, and spelling, and most important, the way that you articulated those smart accomplishment statements. Okay, everybody. That is that you know what, that's about it for now. Again, I hope to see you in the Zoom room on Wednesday at 9 a.m. PST. Again, you're not obligated to join us. It's always a great idea. You don't have to stay for the whole thing. It's okay to drop in, ask your question, and leave. But of course, staying the whole time, you get the benefit of learning from other people's questions. But of course, up to you. Okay, please use that same Zoom link that you used for this week's session. And have a great week, everyone. We'll talk soon, and take care. Bye now.